and she didn't say a word. She didn't say a single word. And I was like, Rachel, look at her face. Look at her. Now she's crying. She's the kid. You know what I mean? Dead silent the whole time. And then at one point, Rachel was like, it wasn't me. And I look at her, I was like, oh. And she flips over her little card and she had the X. I think what makes the depiction of our generation so acute is the attention to detail in the language and how they use it, because I think it's really easy to make any Gen Z character be like, purr girl, on fleek, and make it not very purposeful. And what this script does, what our writer Sarah Delap does, what Helena's done, and what we've all done together, I think has made it really pointed and intentional. And the way they use like really big buzzwords. Amanda was talking about this another time, about how we sort of like talk around the thing by using all these like politicized words without actually saying anything. And Gen Z's really smart. They're so much smarter than just being like gaslight, you know what I mean? So I think our film does that really well, which I think is like a good depiction of our generation.
The first thing that I did notice about the script was the language and how accurate it felt. A lot of the jokes almost felt like inside jokes between like myself and my peers or my generation. You know, this is a satire. These are flawed people, and that's what makes them hilarious, is they kind of embody some of the worst qualities of living in this super media saturated age. So we wanted to kind of speak to how scary it is to be living in this kind of wild, wild west of media. I think what's really cool about the genre of horror is it allows you to explore whatever contemporary issues are the scariest. And so to do it like through comedy, through this absolutely absurd situation, was really gratifying.
Language can totally destroy each other, and we often forget, especially in the time of social media, that words do have power, you know, and it feels like they don't, because we can just tweet and flop everything into the world, but then they do hit somebody somewhere, you know. But for me, and I think Sarah Delap, who the writer, is also a playwright. I come from the theater, so I think it's that we accomplished as a group something great, because it's so language heavy, but at the same time it's so primal, you know, and it's so like sensuous. And I feel that is also what Gen Z or whatever young people represent to me, the beast in ourselves, so to say. Yeah, I love the language, and I love how they are able to add on to it, because they brought their own ideas to the script as well. And it's very important. Of course, I'm 46, so what do I know about young people? So, you know, I was also very curious to what they had to bring to the table. And so we were collaborators more than anything.
Who wants to play bodies, bodies, bodies?
So how do you play?
I feel like the game is a really awesome and smart device to kind of tear open a lot of dynamics that have been bubbling and frothing for a long time. And I think there's something about like this specific friend group that is so kind of can be universally applied to like many different friend groups, which is just like at a certain point you realize like we're kind of all together because of, you know, we're in the same kind of class or random like geographical region, and we're not actually bound by authentic connection at a certain point. So when that kind of like fabric starts to tear, that's like when the movie just like totally explodes open, and you're able to see all of these dynamics and like kind of built up, pent up frustrations between these toxic individuals that, when put under dramatic elements of rain and blood and horror, they just can't hold back their true colors at a certain point. There's so much pleasure, I think, in all of us, like to play like these villains that are so delicious and so fun to play despite being evil and tortured and toxic.
It's interesting because you can see all of these people and you can pretty much empathize all of them. Yeah, they're crazy, they're horrible to each other. We all have been there, and we all are there somehow, because your mom has a friend, this friend has a child, they're at your age and you grow up with them. Same thing that Chase said. So you kind of build this relationship, but when shit hit the fan, do you call this person a friend, or are you actually really not trusting him? How can you start blaming each other that somebody is a murderer when you're being together for 18 years, 20 years, 22? I don't know. Is it a healthy friendship? Probably not. I don't know. I was lucky enough to have the chance to work with Helena because she's incredible, and with every single one of these girls. They're phenomenal. But I did feel this way because I'm coming from a different country. Helena is coming from a different country. So we kind of naturally have this feeling of an outsider. And I was talking with a friend recently that it's such an interesting for example, to watch a play like Wicked and to follow the outsider. So having like the most honest perception of each of these people, because she just meets them for the first time, and they're all weird and wild, and she tries to fit there, and she becomes weird as well because she's not her authentic self. So I don't know. I think I felt this way before. I hope I'm not gonna feel this way in the future, because I guess if you're honest, you're not getting there. She's just trying to impress them, and that's why she also gets weird.
I think we all have sometimes the feeling that we're imposters or aliens, and I think the movie is very much about that and our primal need to belong. And of course, Maria's character B represents that, but all of them do, because in the end, even though they seem so like seductive and beautiful and fast and almost intellectual bullies, they're all lonely, you know. And when the movie, the story unfolds, you know, we're gonna see their loneliness and their like dark interior inside in their heart. So I feel we're all lonely and we all think we're aliens, and that is what makes this movie relatable too.
I played it in my childhood, I played it in college, I played it in my university as a game that can completely destroy your friendship, because you can see that people are capable to be very manipulative, but and you're like, Jesus Christ, I would have never guessed that you can actually be able to lie that good. And we did play the game, did we?
Yeah. We did. It was one of the first nights we were together, right?
Yeah, and it was, everyone kept saying that I was the killer in the game, and I was never the killer, and I actually started to feel hurt because I wasn't. And the game, like, the fun is like bullying your friends, and so it's really like masochistic and inherently just becomes dark, because you're supposed to have fun yelling and accusing your friends of like fake false crimes that you know are not real.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's so freaking addictive, and it's adrenalizing, and it makes you like passionate about it.
I think like the psychological warfare, which is something that Helena says a lot about this film, that you have to engage in to do that game, is so fun. Like, especially if you're like a secret manipulator, which Amanda's laughing, apparently I am. It's really fun. Like when we played the game, Maria was the killer the whole time, and she didn't say a word. She didn't say a single word, and I was like, Rachel, look at her face, look at her. Now she's crying. She's the killer. You know what I mean? Dead silent the whole time, and then at one point, Rachel was like, it wasn't me. And I look at her, I was like, oh. And she flips over her little card, and she had the X.
But I think we all had an approach to the game that was similar to our characters.
Yeah.
Like, we were very much typecast in this film.
Yeah. We were. How did you know?
Probably Maria.
Yeah.
See, she just reacted in a very innocent way. Did you see that? It was definitely Maria. Me? What?
Yeah, definitely. The strong and silent type.
Strong and silent.
So excited. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. I've been on the edge of my seat for months. I've been attached for a long time. So my whole life is Star Wars. I wake up, I think about Star Wars. I watch Star Wars before I go to sleep. I read Star Wars. I listen to Star Wars podcasts. You know, it's my life has transformed to just be dedicated to this one universe, which is actually really fun and liberating. So to finally be able to share it with people who love the universe so much, especially because they contribute so much to it, is just, I'm so excited. Star Wars folks found out I was coming to Comic-Con, and they said, all right, we think it's time. We're going to unleash you upon the world. Yeah.